the solving. Because it's worth 2 marks, you have to show working. But the reason they do those show questions is because if you're thinking going, well, I have no idea how to work this out, but then they give you this, then you can go down and go, okay, they've given me this bit. So I have x over 6 plus x over 4 equals 3,000. Put it over 24. 4x plus 6x equals 3,000. Right, then 10x over 24 equals 3,000. 10x equals 3,000 times 24, and then x equals 3,000 times 24 over 10. And work that out on your CAS. Now, in this solution, they've already, they cancelled this down to 5 over 12. You don't have to do that. If you leave it as multiply by 24 and divide by 10, you'll get the gap. So, lots of people messed up. The first one didn't have a clue what to do, but some got the 3,000 but couldn't get the rest, but that's okay. You're just practicing these ones. Now, the next question, show that the coordinates of the M is this. So you needed to know how to do, so this is midpoint, 13 plus 11 over 2, negative 13 plus 11 over 2, and 7 plus negative 3 over 2, and then cancel it down. Lots of people forgot to put the brackets around it. It's a point. Don't be lazy. It's a point. It should have brackets around it. Okay? Now, once you can see that they said show that. Okay, that's a midpoint. So then they said find the distance between point M and B. Some of you chose to find the distance between A and B, but it was M and B. That's why they're doing this show question, so that you can use it. So usually 99% of the time, if they have a show question, the next part will be using it. So then you can get that. Lots of people went A to B for some reason, but it was a show which indicated I've got to use that somewhere in the next bit. Now this, here we have a straight line. We can rearrange it and find the gradient. You have to get y by itself. You can do it this way, or you could be doing the y equals mx plus c. So therefore, you're going to put in the point, which was 0, 3, so that's 3 equals, we know the gradient. So 3 equals c, so y equals 3/4 x plus 3. All right, this next one challenged a lot of people. Where it cuts the x-axis, what is the other name for that? X-intercept. So x-intercept, y equals 0. Some people went, don't know where it cuts the x-axis, I don't know what to do. Cut x-axis, that's the x-intercept. Cuts, crosses the x-axis. All right, next thing. So if we read this question carefully, thank you boys, you're focused through. Here we've got Tony and his daughter. If you get them together, the sum added up, it's 38. So this, and they said Tony was X, daughter was Y, so they gave you that bit. Now, 1 year ago, think of your age. How old were you 1 year ago? How did you get to that? Minus 1 year, yeah? No. Okay, so if Tony's age is X, he is now X minus 1. And the daughter was minus 1.
What did you write? X minus 1 equals 8y minus 8.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll spell it down. Yep, it just meant any. That was x minus 1 equals 8y minus 8, that's fine too. So, when you're doing these types of questions, you've got to think, okay, if I'm 1 year younger, so is Tony. If the daughter's 1 year younger, so is his dad. So some people did this bit well but forgot this. So those are the equations. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people didn't get that, and then they went to the next question and you had to solve them. Now, I've given consequentials. When you see your mark, it's C in it, means that you've used the wrong equations, but you've worked on it and got there. Okay? So, you might not have got the right answer, but I've given you some marks because you've done some of the work. Now, this one, not there. Now, collinear. Collinear means that they're all on the same line. So you've got P, Q, R. All on the same line. So if I go from P to Q, that's that bit, and I can work out that it's a half. It's the same from Q to R. So I get this here equals M over 2. And so I work out M is 1. They did it a bit differently, but it should be the same gradient from P to Q, P to R, Q to R. They should all be the same gradient. This next one was a little bit disappointing. The reason it was disappointing is because I gave you a sheet on how to do perpendicular bisectors. I gave you the steps on a sheet. It said, find the midpoint, because that's what you needed to do, find the midpoint. Find the gradient of the line. And then find the perpendicular gradient. And then use this or y equals mx plus c, it doesn't matter. The teacher that wrote these answers likes using that. I like using this, it makes no difference. And if you would put y equals negative 2x minus 9 over 2, that would have been perfectly fine too. But you need to find that sheet for the exams. Perpendicular group. Perpendicular bisector. Find the midpoint. Find the gradient of that line. Then you'll know the perpendicular gradient, because they've got to multiply to give you negative 1. And then you use your y equals mx plus c. So although some did that beautifully, I was disappointed because I'd given you a sheet and said it was super important to learn that. So when I'm telling you it's important to learn, this one's pretty good. Distance, there was a couple of answers for these two things, either 2 or 8. Both of them worked. Some people got a little bit confused here. It's sort of like the square root. So if they've got a square root on both sides, then the under bits are there. And people got 6 or negative 2. You got the answer anyway. Right. This is a taxi. You jump in the taxi, they charge you $2, even if you didn't even move. Because that's a flag fall, or they call it that, and they say, okay, before we start, $2, and then it's so much money per kilometre. So if I look at the graph, it looks like that. Okay, focus up here. Here, for those first 2 kilometres, whether I go 1 kilometre, 0.5 a kilometre, 0.7, they're going to cost me $2. $2. So the rule is The cost is $2.
Check out the market for 0x.
Yep. And because it's a flat line, it's got a gradient of 0. Remember, gradient positive, gradient negative, gradient 0, gradient undefined. So it was a flat line route, that's what had a gradient of 0. That one, it was another show question, you just get practice at that. Now look at this, this was another big mistake. People forgot to put it said label the axis, cost, distance, that's label, because it says label the axis correctly. Write down the coordinates of the endpoints. Can everybody read that? Everybody quietly read what that says. Don't talk. Read it. The next 10 kilometers. Too many of you did this. It was the next 10. So it did 2, and then the next 10 brings you up to 12. Read the questions carefully. All right.
Oh yeah, let's end it up. 得等明年，不是下学期。
真的，我们卷子要下学期才给我。对。
今天不是。
好累啊！
面试看不了我。5:20是吧？还是5点？没看到一个地方的。
Next thing. What we're going to do, you've done Pythagoras, now we're going to do trig. For that last sack, what you need to learn is they're going to have lots of show questions. So you can talk about why did they do that way? So show questions. Main thing was a lot of silly errors that you didn't read. You went from A to B, not M to B. Next 10 Ks, not from 0, then after 2, the next 10 Ks. So read them very, very carefully. Look over that sheet of how to do perpendicular bisectors. Okay, because it might be on the exam. Right, the next thing we're doing is trig. Now, when we're going to be, if I've got that's 1 centimetre. Okay, I need to listen very carefully. That's 1 centimetre. And you could say that it was there, which was 0.7 centimetres. You could put it in decimals. Boys, can we stop? You put it in decimals. Now, in angles, we use degrees. So I might say this is 32 degrees. Okay, there's 32 markers and each one is a degree. But sometimes it's a little bit more. So it might be 32.5 degrees. That's in decimals. It might be 32.7 degrees. What we've got to learn is now that 1 degree equals 60 minutes, like hours and when we talk time. 1 degree equals 60 minutes, and I write it that way. And 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So if I've got a 1 degree, which is very small, it's got 60 little bits in there. So it's 1 degree, and when you're building a bridge like the one that crashed down, we've got to be pretty accurate. So we can't just say, 32 degrees will be enough. It might be 32 and 5 minutes. It might be 32 and 7 minutes. Might be 32 and 45 minutes. And often we write a thing, it might be 32 degrees, 15 minutes, and 17 seconds. So that's a really accurate way of measuring an angle. Sometimes if they say round that up, just like we do rounding in other things, this might, it might be 33 if I round it up. Because this is over 30, that's over halfway, because 60 was the full way, 30 is halfway. So if I had 32 degrees and 17 minutes, if I rounded that, it would only be 32 because it didn't go over 30 minutes. So if I've got something like 15 degrees, 32 minutes and 15 seconds, that would be 15 degrees, 32 minutes, if I round it up. If it was 15 degrees, 32 minutes and 45 seconds, I would go, that's 15 degrees, 33 minutes. It's looking at this and seeing if it's over 30. Right. Now, for your calculator, everybody's got a CAS.
I don't. Because I'm moving. So
it's a bit like time.
Take a CAS.
16 minutes in a degree.
And how did you work out those?
Look at this. This is my CAS. If I go to main and I go to keyboard, see that button there? I can press that and I can go, okay, I've got 45 degrees, 32 minutes, and 17 things. And if I press XE, it gives it to me in decimals. So that's pretty good. Yep. So go to main, get to this one. Make sure for year 10 you were on degrees. Don't be on radians, that's for year 11. That's a different way of measuring angles. So are you on your degrees? And if you put it in, so if I press that button again, and I go, 78 degrees, 32 minutes, and 10 seconds, and then I go, yep, what's that in a decimal point?
28.56.
Now, you can use your scientific. If you've only got scientific, that's okay for this. Now, if it's given to me in decimals, and I want to go to degrees and seconds, what I can do is press this button, and then I put that decimal in, there, and press Exit, and it will put it back for me in degrees, minutes, seconds. Right, so what I've got here, can you take one of those and pass them on? And I want you practicing using your CAS.
Yeah, we do.
我不知道，反正我都没删过，用这么久。你是不是有强迫症？
For the one near degree.
没有，我也不一样，你可以看。这样不买白的。好。但黑的你怎么可以学啊？是吗？谁是黑的？他那个都不是
What is it?
This calculator is not a cost calculator.
Yeah. It's the last day
但
of
是
school.
我没太懂他那个是
So today's the last day of school.
No, tomorrow.
I know.
I'll have my finals cat tomorrow.
For what?
EAL. 干嘛？它第一个是度，第二个、第三个是什么？分秒，就是更小的单位。分秒，它是用来计算角度的吗？就是说它的确也可以
You might get 3 strikes.
有角度也有秒这个单位，并且它
How do you do it again?
其实这个度它
How do you
就
round
跟时
up?
间里的小时一样，
分秒是等于多少秒来的？
跟时间一样，1度等于60分，1分等于60秒。
1秒等于100分秒。
没有，我们就直接精确到秒就行了，更多东西不会学。我哪知道？哎，我都没有。I don't bring my cats, so we 干嘛呀？
How do we round off?
Huh?
How do we round off?
What's what?
Question 1.
Wait a second. 干嘛？你问我什么问题 ？What's your question?
How do we round off? I forgot. How do we round off the first question?
Round up.
I forgot.
Just 45路。
I don't speak Chinese.
If it is 5, for example, for this question, it is 38.6 for 8, right? Which is like 39.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And for this is 85. And once it's 5, then you add 1. Once it's 4, you
Boys,
just
you sure what you're doing then?
Yeah.
ignore it.
Yeah. Mouthful.
I want to give it answers for these sheets. 它是45路吗？
我没有看，是 round off 的。但你说，
我这个题目是让我们45路呗。林峰，你这个是干嘛的？45路。你都不知道你发了个东西吗？谢谢。
Okay, got calculators?
喂，
Where am I? You got yours?
It's in my locker.
Go.
Is this okay?
但是它要几位数？是整数还是说要小数点？还是说它是要整个整？哪个点？这个点，中间那个点，我也在想，为什么要点在中间？应该是小。3600秒分秒的状态1比好，不是1比3，才能Ready。 带。1:60:60。我想问老师，但是。
Is there enough worksheets around? Is there any spare ones? Oh, no. Yeah, I'll be. Just hold it 1 minute. I'm trying to work it out on the TI.
Can I go toilet,
I'm going to
please?
have to copy you another
Can I go
one.
toilet?
问题是45度到几分？
然后这里开始就要到，然后下一次到。
太等你，应该没等我的意思。他原本不是这个月，原本就是这个
最前面的是李国瑞，然后对啊，然后那个中间那个是
我问一下啊，因为我是专考学生中间到底是个什么？What means? The adoptive
Point. Yeah,
Oh.
just a decimal point.
a decimal.
Yep. It's in decimal. We want it. This. That question.
Huh? What on there?
Where they change.
It's just going up in different ways. I remember all you.
Wait, 为什么会是60度啊？哦，
你做这么久才做这个？
没有，我没有做。
6，一个冰茶，
一个冰红茶。什么玩意？
那个可能。
Have you finished that sheet? Yeah. Have you finished the sheet? Why are we doing a lot of talk?
毫无建树。
Every time I go, he's always like, that way.
你们最近 bio 有没有任务让你们找篇文章然后讲？
对，也讲。
那他说要把文章打印下来。
我这个是有插口的，就能连到那个手机上。
但我们老师让我们打印下来。
可以打印吧，加油。
但我不知道怎么打印。
去图书馆问图书馆里面教。
那 Office Work 呢
？Office Work 没去过。那里能打印的？我说去那个学校里也去。
哦，学校的图书馆。哦，你之前在学校图书馆打印过的。哦。我还没讲。
我
找几个妹子。找妹子干。直接去漫展去。
我感觉放假在家，
看运气了。
我感觉放假在家好无聊啊，除了能多睡会儿。
漫展了？有，哪里都有。但去的有外国人，也有中国人。你要买票。好像是48加手续费还是95？原价42加上手续费。
好无聊。
When you have 10 minutes, oh shit, you can do it.
哎，我们这看字是多少钱买的来着
？Wait, what did you get again? What did you get? What did you get for your maths? What did you get for your maths? Yes, okay.
91. I've already told you.
Yeah, I forgot. 91.
Pretty low.
No, not that bad. Do you used to get 95 and above? What'd you get?
I have only received 2 passes since arriving here.
Oh,
I'm new here.
Oh, you're new here. What'd you get for the first test?
80, 90,
91?
I've got.
Okay.
It's 91, I think.
Oh,
no, it's 92. I've got.
The same score?
I've got, let me check. Oh, 90. Yeah, 90.
What? 90?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever read any languages subjects?
No. French.
Huh?
French.
You've also learned French. How many subjects were you used to choose?
What?
How many subjects were you used to select it?
I don't know. I don't count. 2, I guess.
Do you have any missing subjects?
Next year.
What do you plan for your business?
You see, I'm not up to that stage yet. But from what I can observe about myself,
Maths, no, probably general, and then English, and then music.
VCT music.
VC music, yeah. For next year. What are the other 3 I was planning?
So doesn't
PE, for sure. No talking back for that.
don't you plan to choose any science or
Yes, biology, probably. And the last one I forgot.
what's your current subjects for science?
Psychology, I think. Was it that? Neuroscience. That's science. That's related to science.
这个意思。对，所以说这个 B 也不错吧 ，B 也不错。上面哎是好，这么一说。
Let's just. I'll just tell you the first answer was.
是啊。哎，什么不是45度啊？
Oh, wait a minute. Did I just give you the wrong sheet? Did I give you the wrong sheet? Does it say yes? And you're thinking, what am I doing? I was trying to get the right sheet with the answers.
这是你看吧。
Starting what? Last year.
哦，不行，好了，还没反过来。
反过来了。
Yeah, Unit 3。你看吧，这个题，这是刚拿下题。是点 K 报是这个，它这不是38,648嘛？38然后648，然后这边是0，是8.8，约等于49，知道为什么吗？
它一个是分秒，它这个就是
因为这个它是一个整体的，你看吧。哎，不是，60等于1，所以我们要这个要除以60，就等于10，就是前面加了10，然后后面48就再什么45就好了。
真的，它是38.648度，你为什么打上去变成38度648分？这样两个概念吗？
我也在想啊，但是他们就是
这应该是两个概念，38度648分。
我就是像你那么认为，但是，然后老师跟我说这个就是写题，然后648，然后对吧？我也是这么想的，但是他们这么说，我也
所以说那个可以当做小数点。
不是我现在我就是很懵，我现在就是很懵。你看我等会我就是得问一下老师。
这个根本不 make sense， 好吧？That doesn't make sense。
如果小数点后面不是就是，如果小数点后面是那个分秒什么的，那就是我刚刚说的那个。但如果不是分秒，他们说是分秒，但是我不觉得，但是我就知道它是少了一个问题，没办法。
哦，等等，这一题我确实做错了，因为它一共就只有60秒等于1分，所以。
Nearest minute. Chat.
Bigger than 25.
秒的。
哦，不是，我感觉我第二题都做错了。这一题的话应该是83度25分，对，因为它这个应该是2舍3。
对，你那个没问题。不是分秒，不是刚刚分秒的话，你们刚刚那个就。
Right, so your first one was 39 because it was 38.64. It was 39. It goes up. Next one was 89 because it was 0.25. That was down. 72, 33. Boys, have you done this? 85, 64, 83, 60, and 74. And we'll go over the next ones in the next lesson, okay? Because you'll need to finish that up. Now, if you're having trouble, let me know.
它不是45
啊，不是，你没看我刚给你看了，60等于1，因为这个是这是秒，对，
哦，没什么，哦，我还没注意到呢，这边是秒，这边
对，
小数点和秒切换换我都没注意到。
Are you going?
So if I've got 16.2 divided 3,
I'm back. Watch.
别让他们看清。
I just put that down to the degree level. Oh, so you don't know how to get that into the Oh, yeah. So in you doing this, to degree of seconds, did you get that to that? Oh,
你还自动登录啊？
yeah, you just press it. And then put it in systems. And actually, yeah, so let me just press
手机呢？
手机直接拿出来弄。但上次那个就是把手机直接录出来的教室，题都没有。
我有一个朋友今天把手机交给你的老师也看一眼，老师直接过去。对，但是有一些老师不一样。
Yeah, so that was just push it in. You got to like those Yes, you
国
do.
内号码换成国外号码。国内的，你该不会在这用国内的是这样？
不可能吧？
这拿出来吧。要需要我可以帮你拖一下老师。
对啊。
你把他妈老师这边我是
过去吧呀，肯定。
那万一你还没来得及过去，他就过来。
老师来了。
Right, okay. The sheets, you've got 5 minutes to do it, then we're going over the answers. And then we're moving on.
I'm going to laugh to death.
Hi.
Just
Okay, bro, if you can't lose track, that's
越的禁言不团结退。计划不如还是。那你可以玩到要干嘛？你在联机问题。
Right, quickly get through that sheet. I want to. You've got about 5 minutes to do it, and then we're going over the answers. Question 4, you just put it into degrees, minutes, seconds. So put it in degrees, minutes, seconds, and then you go arrow to the end. Very good. Nothing to do with 83 degrees, 24 minutes, 36 seconds. See how that's 24? It's not over 30. It's 30. Oh, this one. This one, that's over 30. Right, I'm just rounding it. Because 60 minutes is a full one, over 30 will be over halfway. So you round that. Okay? Yeah, you won't need that.
For the question 4, we just write in the degrees.
Question 4.
Yeah, we correct the
Correct decimal, 2 decimal places and
unit.
他怎么给我那个百分之
你说第四题人算气氧分率的什么？
他真的，我应该怎么把它弄成那个小数怎么搞的？
不是，底下，最底下，这里。
I'm so smart.
For real. But I'm smarter.
And you had that on the screen. Remember that's a whole screen and you had square things.
Go again. How do you get exactly?
Yeah?
So what do you think of me?
What do I think of you? Neve? I don't know. He's cool.
He's cool.
Cool black kid. Yeah.
And any more details?
Any more teachers?
Have you ever intercourse, make friends with someone?
Have I ever intercoursed with someone? Have I ever intercoursed with someone?
Yeah. No, with him.
Oh, intercourse with him? Had sex with him?
That's not what I mean. I mean make friends.
Intercourse. You had sex with intercourse. You met him.
Really? I don't know that meaning. That's not the dictionary writes.
I thought you meant because you said that. No.
So have you ever? What about Nahal? What about Nahal?
He's cool.
How?
He's cool.
How?
How?
Yeah.
How is it cool? I don't know. I talked to him multiple times. We were like basically kind of friends. Yes. In a way.
I want it to go from whatever we've got there, decimal into degrees, minutes, seconds.
Jack in a box.
Watch Stevie Gerrard.
什么老师不会了？
啊？哦，这都是命。
They said they were surprised that our teacher has facing some difficulties.
Wait, I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
All those people think that like that were all Chinese people?
Yeah.
Oh, they're all Chinese.
Yeah.
You gotta teach me Chinese one day, bro. You gotta teach me Chinese one day.
Huh?
You gotta teach me Chinese.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll
What do you want to learn?
The whole thing. All I know is Bing Chilling. That's all I know. Or
In fact,
something else.
the word 冰淇淋.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Don't learn.
And in this word, 冰 means ice. So in Chinese, 冰 is ice.
Oh.
And why don't you just take a Chinese course?
They expect you to know everything, so I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather learn it from someone with words, you know.
I want to teach you those swollen words.
Yeah. I think I know something else. It's hygiene. It's hygiene, right? Hygiene means bye.
再见.
And it's how
So if you write it in English, it's 再
Honeymoon.
Hygiene.
再见. 再见. What about hi? Honeymoon, right? How about hi?
Yeah.
Ni hao. And then ni hao mom is hi mom, right? Ni hao mom is hi mom.
Yeah. 你好吗? 你好吗?
Right, and we
How are
need to
you?
start the new stuff
Are you
very
there?
soon, so keep going as quick as you can.
I can also teach you dialect.
What's that? What's that?
Dialect. You know what dialect is?
No.
Seriously, you don't?
Wait. Don't make fun of me, bro. Let me check real quick.
I didn't make fun of you. Dialect.
I play the form of language. No, never heard of that. I'm not dumb, I swear. Maybe I have.
Dialect is a way of speaking in certain areas.
Oh, nice.
It's like in Sri Lanka, people from different areas, the accents might sound different, right? Yes, so that's a dialect. The dialect is not different from common talk, from formal language.
Huh.
That's a strong
I don't know how I didn't know what that meant.
local color. So I can teach you. It's a repeat. Not a meal.
Huh?
No, nothing. Not
Watermelon. You want a watermelon?
no.
Yo, you should play Chinese whispers. You should play Chinese whispers. You should play Chinese whispers.
What's whispers?
A whisper, you know, like whispering.
Whisper. Oh,
Listen, like,
yeah.
so basically, one person starts saying a word, and they whisper into like just say me, right? I'll be the one whispering to you, like a random word, and then you whisper to him the word, and he whispers to him, and the last person over there has to call up the word. So like, you want to play Chinese whispers, like in this row?
In fact, I'm quite curious. What does Chinese sounds like to you? So for example, when I'm talking Chinese with those guys, and how does that sound to you? Can you just imitate a little bit in your
in my
What you
language.
feel, yeah. No, just imitate what you feel. Copy what you, the feeling, the sound. That, what the sounds here, what those sound to you. For example,
I'm not sure how to do that.
you just, I'm quite curious about Chinese in others as rest aspect.
Well, it sounds cool. Yeah.
What does Chinese sound like to you? Just,
Chinese sounds like to me.
yeah, just a little bit copy in your ear. How does it sound like?
What does Chinese sound like to me? I don't know. It sounds like any other language.
Don't it have any special characteristics? What's special?
I don't know. It's not bad.
I just want you to talk a little bit about. Just imagine the scene that I'm talking to others in Chinese, and what do you think I might say? I might say something like this.
Oh, you sound like
Yeah.
a black person. No racist here, bro.
Fine. Black person.
Black person, like a black person talking.
Yeah.
Like because you guys use the N-word.
I'm going to go
You
through
guys
the
use
answers.
it.
So you're getting the hang of it, seeing if you're right. You can go back to it if you haven't quite finished. Right, question 1. Well, everybody should have done question 1. A is 39, B is 89, C is 72, D is 33, E is 85, F is 62, G 83, H 60, and I 74. Question 2, correcting question 2, please. 83 25, 89 34, 63 28, 54 38, 51 46, 54 17, 27 16, 41 45, and 30 46. Question 3, 27 46, 29, 78, 78, 83, 22, 55, 65. Question 4, 47.48, because it's two decimal places. B, 7219. C, 54.38. D, 64.86. E, 59.27. F, 83.27. G, 32.91. H, 35.57. And I, 15.58. Question 5, using your calculator, you should be able to get 53, 14, 17. 18, 45, 7. 21, 23, 10. 36, 45, 7. 27, 22, 8. 84, 32, 35. G is 47, 18, 54. H is 34, 50, and 6. And I is 73, 7, 41. Now I'm going to come back to the next bits, but before, some people are ready to go on, so we'll do this bit as well. When you're doing trig, you've got to know which side is which. So it's really important to be able to work out the hypotenuse. So everybody watching up here, you should copy this in your book. The little square points to the hypotenuse. That's an H. Rubbing, yeah. And if this is the angle, it's a funny little thing called theta. It's a Greek letter. The opposite to that theta is called the opposite side. And the one that's next to angle is called the adjacent side. Can you write that down, please? Draw that picture. The heading is trigonometry, and that's identifying the sides. Hypotenuse, the longest side, opposite that little square. So drawing that, please.
What is it called the longest side? That's a weird name.
So this is working for right angle triangles at the moment. They're not anything else. There's other rules for non-right angles. So you copied that down. Hypotenuse is the H. Opposite the angle is called opposite. The one that's next to it's got an arm in that angle. It's called the adjacent. Next to, it's called adjacent. They're words you need to know. Okay. Now, when it comes to finding a side length, that's what we've got to do. We've got to work out. So a lot of engineers need to do this because they can't actually physically measure it because there's something in the way, a tree or something. So they use angles and the bits that they can work with measure. So if I've got this situation, I want you to write this down. You need to say that you've got the angle. Every time you sort out, I've got the angle, it's 30 degrees. This side, what's this one?
Opposite.
Opposite, so I put O is the mystery one. I don't know it. I put lots of question marks. What's this one called? H. Okay? So that's what you're going to do. You're going to sort out what's what. Now, I'm going to, no, I don't want to go that one yet. Now, in trig, we have ratios, trig ratios. They're called sine of the angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cos equals A over hypotenuse. And tan equals opposite over adjacent. So if you've got something to do with the hypotenuse, it's either going to be sine or cos. If it doesn't have any hypotenuse, then it's tan. So let's have a look at this one. Which one's going to be got the formula that's got an angle, an O and H? Which is that one? Sine, beautiful. So sine, and then we fill in the gaps. Sine of 30 equals mystery over 10. 10 times the sine of 30 equals x. 10 times a half, because I know the sine of 30 off by heart, 5. But you would do this part in your calculator, sine of 30. Can you copy that one down? Now, I want to see the red stuff. When you're working it out, you need to write the red stuff down.
Oh.
And sine of 30 is a half, but you need to put that in your calculator at the moment. I automatically do that. somewhere you need to know the ratio, so you better put this down as well. Now, some people call this Sokotoa. Me being a maths teacher, I don't even remember how to spell that, so I've got something else. Saddle our horses, canter away happily towards other adventures. Another silly saying, okay? Some people like Sokotoa, other people have a little saying, or you could just remember it. But you've got to know which is which. I then want you to try number 2. Write down the red stuff. And then you can try number 3. Write down the red stuff. You might think it's a waste of time putting that red stuff down, but it helps you to decide whether it's sine or cos or tan. Takes a milliseconds to write it down, and it helps. Make sure somewhere in your notes you've got that trig ratio, sine, cos, tan, Sokotoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for your humanities, do you have any handout?
Cats.
Now in the second one, we've got the
Just
angle,
handout.
good.
What's handout?
We've got the opposite side is 5, and the hypotenuse is
Can
the
you borrow
mystery.
me one? I just want to read it.
Question mark.
Oh yeah, we just
Don't
had
know what
that
it is.
previously. Yeah. My cat. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had this.
I want the text. Do you have any text articles?
You should get answer 10.
1 second.
You fill in the gaps. Okay, boys. Yeah, you fill in the gaps. You decide that it's sine. But look at this one. Here is where we want it's the bottom number, the denominator that's 36. We have to bring it over and then take that bit back. So when you're looking for the denominator, you're looking at a divide situation. Ravi, you right? Got this one? You try the next one? Good. Now try the next one. Right. Do this.
身心俱疲。
What have you got? What are you going to use?
反正我都没有记，我好像就直接就是说跟这个三角形，就是跟这三角形。不是一般30度的三角形，它那个短的边都是斜。
Which one are we going to use this time?
然后知道这个。
Tan. Does tan have an H in it?
一般那个好长的边就是那个短的边的根号3倍，
Okay.
然后那个斜边是那个短的边的2倍。我一般都是这样的。
只要有3还有看，你直接用这样记的，肯定会有。
那么国内都要自己
So what's the answer?
记得，我刚才还问我妈，我妈说不知道，不记得。
What's the answer?
被指定。
Anybody got the answer?
是这样的，就是说我们国内
Had to use
学过这
cos,
样
didn't
一
we?
个定理，就是说如果这个角三的那么的话，
8.6?
这个边就是这个边的2倍，所以我们知道这个就
你们的那个3 cos 派，我们都是30、45，然后60这些。
Okay, just write it.
没有
Listen up. Up the top.
那个没有， 我们这个没有。
Right. If you are doing these questions, you have to work out what they've given you, what you want, and to use sine, cos, or tan. Can you make sure this is in your books? Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cos equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan equals opposite over adjacent.
I think it's 8.7.
8.7?
跟如果计算器用3角函数，
我要调一下，我开在那。
Is that better?
小角。调 radio 上就调，你试一下好吗？
那低规在哪？
cos sin cos。
哦，
来，清空。
sin
Soccer,
现在应该是
sober.
直接可以用了。sin
30就好。
差不多，然后最后只要我把 decimal 改成 standard 比较好。
这个是用的。
Now, what you have to do is this working right?
打人要提这个是什么？
Okay. I want you to have a look at this question.
这个是低规。
It's actually 8.6.
radio 还是
Is it repeating?
No, oh no, it's not repeating.
Let's call it 30.
Let's see.
You know.
Wait, what?
Cos of 30?
0.866.
60,
No, it's 660.
Well, the word 那个 means that in Chinese.
那个
Yeah.
0. I'm going to round that to 8.7, aren't I?
That's crazy.
Right. Let's have a look at this one.
Like that?
Here's your triangle. Okay, you've got to identify. So first thing is, what is the angle? What is this side? And what is the 25? Which sides are which? Farouk, what's the angle? Sorry? Well, in the triangle, what's the angle? Good. What's this side over here called?
No,
Is it?
adjacent. Opposite. Almost there.
What's this side? So, we're going to use,
34 plus 25.
we use sine.
90 minus 50.
We fill it in and we get that answer. Can you draw the diagram and do it yourself? I want the stuff, this stuff written down. So all I want you to do is that, write that, decide that it's sine and work on. Do it yourself.
Airplane.
Do you get my answer?
Airplane.
So example 1, draw the diagram, write down theta, O and H. Then use sine and work it out. Come on, boys. Do this one. Don't be on the computer, that's wasting. That's distracting you from what you're looking at. Do you agree with 13.8? 9.8? Yep, good. I missed it. All right, next question.
That's all.
Example 2. Read the red, draw a diagram. Read carefully what it's all talking about. A lot of the trick stuff is reading. Draw your diagram and then work it out. Check if you're right. Or check if I'm right. So this says a ladder rests against the wall. And it makes a 65-degree angle with the wall. So it's not down here. Often it's down there, but this one is making it with the wall. Its height is 2.35. We've got to work out the ladder. How long is the ladder? So my step one is angle 65. Adjacent 2.35. H is my mystery. I need to use cos. You know the ladder has to be, it's a hypotenuse, so it has to be bigger than 2.35.
Go. Lovely holiday homework.
Another one? Bro, how many papers?
2完啊，这个
Can we get brain dead?
这是下学期要
No,
写的，
no more, right?
然后给你分了2个表。
Bro, I suck ass, right?
Did everybody get 5.56?
5.5?
Why? 咱们人力是没提出来。两个还是啥的？
We have to talk in 5.
Oh,
I guess no.
Miss? Are we up to 5.5?
We have to have
Right.
How did I not know?
Everybody got sheets?
你看多好，我考这个是，我这边都是空白的。最近我们要复习，然后这个。
We have any of those sheets coming through?
每一科都应该是。
I can tell you something.
全是一块考
It looks the exact same. I'm so confused too, bro. In this, there's like 3 people who look the exact same. Who look the exact same, like no difference. And they're in this year. And they're in this year level. In our grade.
really.
There.
They are twins, I guess.
是这个玩的。
We get 3.
Bro, it's so weird because I don't know who's who. I don't know who, like this is I talked to one, right? I don't know which one that is. Like it's like 3 people. It's the exact same.
Okay. So I guess I only need articles. So
And like one of them, is in this class.
物理还没有。
you really want to put the something in it?
Yeah.
我只学理科。对啊，就是还行。
So can you give me more text of this you no longer use?
This?
Yeah, the text of your humanities.
Textbook?
Yeah, whatever. Just long articles.
I don't have it.
I just don't you hand out?
I don't have textbook, but I have more
Yeah,
worksheets.
just worksheet
Oh, okay.
for you to read. I don't want the questions.
Devcast. Will that help?
I just,
Give me all your resources.
is there any spares?
Resources are in my device.
So this is the only resource you have.
These two, yeah. As of now. Man, I'm dead. Brain dead. Are you done?
Can I keep it?
Keep it?
Yeah.
Fine.
No. If that's not, if I can't keep it, that's fine.
No, you can keep it. You can keep it.
Because I'm curious what you are doing.
那低数吧，低数考英语也是。
So you are no longer use this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can give.
如果英语方面，
And if you want it, you can ask me back at any time.
Yeah.
学好英语，基本就是什么都学好了。
Listening up. Listen up. I need everybody to listen. Now, when you work at a place, a company, a lawyer place, a company, once you've worked 7 years, they give you long service leave because you've been so loyal to them. So after 10 years, you get even more. Well, I've been working here for a long time, so I'm going to go on long service leave for part of next term. So you're going to have Miss Foster. She's going to teach you, and for the weeks. Now, I have set out what she's going to teach you. So she is going to teach calculating an angle. She's going to teach you angles of elevation and depression, and I've put all the sheets I want you to do. And I've also
How do you pronounce the
here's
name?
your
How do you pronounce the name, bro?
watch resources. Resources, come on. Come on. I'm going to go in your U block. Why is it not?
Wait.
Okay, let's go back. Why is it suddenly? Ah, here we go.
That's a lot. Hey. It's like,
Now, Miss Foster's going to teach you about those angles, but also what I've done is I've put this on here. That, it's in here. You're holding down a control. You do not want to start what it's doing. And then here's the PowerPoint. Okay?
yes,
And then, once you've done that exercise, you're going to go close that, and you can look at this at home too. Then there's 5.7. It's on angle of elevation. Elevation is looking up, and when I'm depressed, I look down.
depressed.
Okay, and then there's bearings,
39.
and then there's application. Now, Miss Foster might use these But if you need to go over it again, you can find it in resources. Okay? And then she's going to go on to factorisation. Factorisation has
when will this be over?
factorising with 3 terms, factorising with 2 terms, or 4, flip the square. Now, she's going to lead you through that. Then you're going to have one cat. The next cat is on trigonometry. She's going to give you revision. I've already copied last year's papers, so you can go revision. Then you can see that there's a lot of time you're going to be doing revision for the exams. Now, there's 2 exams, one skilled and one CAS. And it's both of them are about an hour long, and so that's what you're going to be doing. There is going to be a lot of time when you're doing revision, so she's going to give you last year's exam and exams. You're going to need to know thirds. You're going to need to know coordinate geometry. You're going to need to know factorising. You're going to be knowing simultaneous equations. So I want to let you know that I'll be back, but she's going to go through this, and I've sort of got everything organised for her so that you can go over PowerPoints and you're going to be doing it. Make sure that you do all the work that's said, listen carefully, ask questions. That's what you tend to do. You're not supposed to know everything, so you are going to be asking questions, Colin, so that you know more. Right? So when I get back, I want to hear that you're all did all the worksheets said and asking questions, and that you loved that. Okay. Now, holiday home.
Well, we have a holiday maybe something. But I'm not
You've got that sheet.
I'm not gonna do what?
the holiday home.
5.4.
It's not hard.
I know. It's really easy. I just don't want to do it.
什么？
Oh, 5.4. I should definitely write it down.
Right. I've given you a sheet with a couple of triangles in it. You're going to do that. Going to do 5.4. Saying which side, if I've got you, which side is the adjacent. That's what that's all about. And then 5.5. What I want you to do is have some fun, because the exams come up in term 2, and so you need to have some fun there.
Fun.
Before in year 11 and 12 too, you need to have fun. So 5.4, 5.5, you know all the work, and there's going to be PowerPoints on 5.6.
Enjoy.
No, it's maybe on the second one. A little bit of maybe factorising, but not much on the first. But exams and half year is on, all on, everything was done this term. Can you put your chairs up? Got them up, hopefully next one.
是要啊，他每步是5.4，
Are you sure everybody knows what they're doing?
问一下。
I will see you, and you're all going to be doing fun, ask lots of questions, and you're wonderful. That's what I want to hear and say. I know you're all wonderful, so I want to.
I'm about to win the fun, bro. Goodbye. I know, right? Goodbye. Goodbye, live. Have a good day. Sleep off. Yeah.